Right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. I brought you today what I consider to be something kind of special. So we're going to talk about our Hughes engines 440 that I'm rebuilding for a guy. And in that build, he wants to reuse his flat tappet cam and lifters that were in the engine. It's totally understandable. It's all broken in. It was low-ish miles, so everything's happy together. The problem is that we incurred, the camshaft was bent, I think 5.5 or 6 thousandths. So we go over to Rick Seaman's shop, he checks it out, and he's gonna show you on camera, actually he lets me film, him straightening a cast core camshaft. So it's pretty cool. We'll see that part. Also, I wanna show you the block and a quick discussion here on an update of the pistons and rods, being sure everything works together. If you'll remember, one of these pistons was beat up very badly. So I'm showing you that in the video and we'll move forward here. Also, the heads that came off this engine, I'm paying money out of my pocket to Kuntz in Arkadelphia. They're gonna tear those heads down and I'm paying to get them flowed. So they were ported at Hughes, I think 20 years ago or more. I'm pretty sure Hughes they don't port heads anymore that I'm aware. So getting those heads flowed, we'll get some data coming back from that when the build starts soon. And here's what we got. This is our Hughes engines 440 camshaft, excuse me, that we're trying to reuse because it's flat tappet, and it is
4 thousandths out.
4 thousandths, but also it's mated to the lifters, so we're going to put the same lifters and cam back in out of respect for the owner's wishes. Also, we don't want to break in a new flat tappet cam. You never know what's going to happen there. Rick's going to show us how to straighten it today.
Okay, so this is the low, right? We've got 4 thousandths to go, so we probably can't do it just hitting here and here. If we've got 4 thousandths to go, we better hit it here and here, and then here and here, and check it again. And maybe that'll straighten it out by a couple thou.
Okay. Viewer discretion is advised if they're scared.
It's got to be one of the easiest things to do. Well, that's less than a thou.
Can you zero it so it'll show better on my...
Okay. We're a half a thou out.
I'd call that acceptable, don't you think?
I'd say we ought to leave it at that.
Yes, sir. Getting a little mic going on an old piston versus new piston because we have a brand new set from UEM.
Okay, you're 3 under what the bore size was. So everything's wonderful. .22. And that's 350. So, this one looks a couple tenths bigger. So we're good.
All right. Let me show them the new design versus old design.
Yeah.
of the exact same piston. It's a little taller skirt, just barely, which if you put the rock side or the little mini domes, let me put those together. There we go. Very close. But this one is a little bit heavier. Our new one's heavier by about 10 grams. And I told Rick I think I can remove 10 grams. There's lots of little material. To be continued. Here's another reason why we went with a whole new set of pistons instead of just one. I called UEM to order these, and I got a hold of Mike there. Mike was a tremendous help to me. They revised the design. So you'll notice here, this was wide open. Here's our new cut valve reliefs here, that V's. Also, this was deeper for intake side. And then they changed it to symmetrical valve reliefs instead of asymmetrical valve reliefs, which would have changed the weight a little bit. So maybe what part of that 10 grams we're seeing is that center chunk there. I'm not gonna grind or do anything to that side, but just showing you some of the differences here. But he did go back and watch my video actually. And with this kind of failure, that could have possibly been a piece of piston that chipped off and then beat itself in between there over and over again. So to ensure the quality of our build, this one goes away and we're stepping up to a new set. The last thing we just did was test the pin fitment in the rod itself, because they're floating rods. And there we are, this side. This is our new pin. It slides like butter. And Rick can check the inside diameter of our rod bushing just to be sure, but you can still see the factory hone marks somewhere in there. So there it is, we're getting closer. And here's our happy little block back. I mentioned this in my State of the Fleet video, but I wanted to get a little closer view here. He had to actually reline hone this because all those bores were too tight. I'm not sure how it didn't have more issue at the time, but we're reline honed also. You can kind of see our cross hatching here in the cylinder. And we got our torque plate honed with the profilometer right here on our 440. So our block is essentially ready to put back together. It needs a really, really good washout. Also, I'm doing new cam bearings. You can kind of tell they get scarred up and all that. But I'm wondering how out of round they are right now, because that cam that came out being so bent, I have no idea. So we're going to play it safe and put new bearings in. Our decks, besides being kind of stained up, actually look pretty good. They're a little oily as well. There's those notches that Hughes had did. And Rick left me with these funky roll pins I have to get out, so we can actually have real dowel pins this time. Anyway, there's our block. We did not want a deck anymore off this anyway. The pistons, I think, were at basically zero deck. We're not looking for more compression. It's got cast iron heads, so it's already pushing what I would call the limit of pump gas for the static number. I did not check the dynamic compression on this. I'm not totally sure what cam's in it unless it's the one listed on the website, and I'll try to find again what exactly this build was. If you missed that in the first video, I have a full teardown of it. Anyway, I've said enough. Thank y'all for watching. We'll get back on 440s before you know it, and I'll catch you next time. All right. Mopar people?